Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Learn Plan Profit. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. I'm going to be taking a secondary position here on ticker symbol UGAS. So we got the ask at 46.83. We got the bid. There we go. Nice little pullback. Let's see if I can get filled. There we go. Filled at 79 and 88. So let's go back to natural gas. Natural gas has been showing signs of an uptrend ever since extended hours. Right now, it just made overall highs based off of previous patterns. Anything close to around 315 to 316 makes sense on why it's a little bit more on the overextended side. Again, looking at the MACD or the RSI, looking at the MACD, I'm talking a little bit too much. Give me one quick second. Just make sure everything's good here. All right, and again, because I'm trading during pre-market hours, or if I was to trade during after market hours, right here where it says day, we just put EXT, and I'm gonna put a limit order as I cannot sell or buy during market price and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put 4699. Doesn't mean that I'm actually going to sell there. I just want to make sure that I have my order ready to sell. As of right now, as you guys can see, based off previous patterns, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad sell right around $47. Yes, it did end up hitting highs of $46.58 earlier. And yes, that would be great, but I just have to understand that it doesn't always have to hit necessarily that high price point. So, oh shoot, I forgot to put the live chat. Sorry about that, team. Here we go. So again, I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why I took this position. And I'm going to close this out here. There we go. My ask is approaching. Right now the bid is between 46.80, it's above there, and 46.90. I have 550 shares. There we go. It's still going up. 46.85. I'm going to close this out as I don't necessarily have to be so focused about the exact dollar amount that I'm at. But again, the MACD is a little bit on the overextended side, so is the RSI. So if it really begins to push up, great. If not, then I have to understand that we might not get to that $47 price point. So I'm just gonna have one of these ready. Good morning, good morning. MACD still trying to push up. What's going on, Samuel? What's up, what's up? There you go. Let me just take a look at natural gas. Okay. So there's a nice little pullback. Again, based off of previous patterns, the resistance around this general area. Right? Do you guys see it? Here, here, here. The last push, pushed up very nicely, consolidated right around like the 315 area, and then popped right to around 316 to almost 317. That's nice. That's very attractive. That's hopeful. But again, the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on was, was this thing showing signs of an uptrend? First thing that I identified was its overall direction. I didn't care if natural gas was going up. I didn't care if it was trending down. I just wanted to know its direction. I saw that it was trading between the middle and top VWAP, and I saw that it was trying to make higher lows and higher highs, right? It wasn't like very aggressively pushing up, but it was pushing up, and that's what was important to me. I identified this pattern that it did a really nice job bouncing off this middle VWAP. So literally what I did is when natural gas began to sell off, it began to consolidate, and when it began to consolidate, I took my initial position of 300 shares. So that was my 300 share position size, and it wasn't until it broke above 313. So when it was consolidating, in my eyes, it offered kind of this like horizontal pattern around this like kind of like support, right? So again, I don't care if it's consolidating. That's why I took my initial position size, because it's consolidating and it's not selling off. Great. Now I'm going to add more to my position size when it confirms an uptrend and not just pushes up above the EMA line, but actually begins to push above this like little resistance that it had while it was consolidating. It pushed up. You guys saw me add my 250 shares, and then now we're approaching a resistance. Now it makes sense on anything around this general area. It would make sense on why I can sell. So right now, again, I'm not up a huge dollar amount anymore, but the premise is that I bought in and I'm selling at a price point that makes sense. If you want to look at UGAS and see like exactly like what's it called, where's the best price to sell at and stuff like that, like yeah, you can try to perfect that. But especially during pre-market hours, as it could be a little bit more volatile, just due to the low demand and the low volume, I would just focus on locking in profits. And I probably should have done a better job exiting. So I'm going to see if we can get a nice little push up and then end up just having my sell right around 46.80. Hey, what's going on, Joel? What's up? What's up? It's not that I don't think that it can go to the $47 price point. Is that the $47 price point is the resistance, right? Like that's like where it's peaked out at. And looking at /NG in correlation to $47, that's the resistance on natural gas around 315. 100% it can hit highs of 315. No question about it. It's done it before. It just like just sold my position. Sweet. Do you guys see it over here? Sold 162, not bad. Again, it's pre-market hours, so I'm just gonna take it. But again, going back to it, natural gas, yes, 100% it can hit this area, but it was really consolidated and really struggling to break above 315. We saw that it pushed up, then it got rejected, and even though it did pop up, who knows, like it didn't have to pop up that way. It could have completely sold off, and then it would have gone from green to red. Again, the biggest thing that's most important is like when you identify, there's multiple things that identified that this was a resistance. Previous patterns, the 315 resistance, great. MACD, descending MACD as it hit highs of 315. MACD was overextended at that area. Same thing with the RSI, not a good deal, and it was overextended. A series of factors that make sense on why it's overbought. Yes, this thing can shoot up to 320 right now. That's besides the point of what can happen. It's taking action on what you can make sense of. If there's a reason that you should sell and you see that and you don't, and then it goes from green to red, that's your fault. If it does something and it was unexpected, as in like it's progressively pushing up, and then this news report comes out that like natural gas, there's like a surplus, and then just sells off, you could have not predicted that, and then you take a loss, and yes, it sucks, but that's the whole point of risk management. You have to make sense that every action that you take, every step that you take when it comes down to trading is not so much of like, especially when you're first getting started, trying to maximize every trade, as in like being greedy. Like you should be very patient when it comes down to like entering a position, right? And being selective with that. But when it comes down to maximizing every trade, as in like trying to squeeze out every, especially at the resistance, when there's obvious signs that it's at a resistance, it's just not worth it in my eyes, especially for newer traders. So yeah, and there we go. Got rejected. Now it broke below the EMA line, and now it's showing signs of it pulling back. So DGAS is most likely going to push up a little bit. Again, DGAS is descending as of right now, so I don't want to risk it, and I don't think the margin of profit is worth it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more time for it to sell off before I decide to do anything with that. So the really cool thing that I also did see during pre-market hours is that /NQ is starting to show signs of an uptrend. Middle top view up, that is in favor of TQs if I'm not mistaken. So TQ should be showing signs of an uptrend during pre-market hours. If this pattern continues, then this might be something that might be worthwhile. If you just hate natural gas ETFs, 100% I understand. This is an option, right? /CL. As of right now, it's trying to trend up, as you can see, based off where it closed yesterday, but it also breaks below the middle view up from time to time. So, be very selective with your entry point if you even decide to trade it. And then /GC. I think we could all see kind of like where that's going, right? Consolidated and then huge sell-off. Check out what was released at around 6:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, or whatever it is your time, and what acted as a negative catalyst to drive the price down. Simple. Oh, super happy to hear that. Thank you, Christine. Hope you're enjoying. Colby. Yes, I did see that. Yeah. And I think it's been like, safe to say that like this has been happening a lot where like natural gas will completely shift its direction almost exactly at market open. Again, it's just based off of like luck and stuff like that, that's what happens. So just be extremely selective with what you choose to trade, especially if you're struggling to identify its overall direction. So the MACD is descending, but it might still have a little bit more to descend as it hasn't fully sold off, and maybe so with the RSI as well. There you go. Only here because I got school canceled. That's pretty cool. What's going on, Josh? So I would, if you're trading, that's a good question, Nick. If you're trading like UGAS, I wouldn't look at the news in UGAS. I would look at the news on /NG, as that's going to be more relevant. There's news released all the time. Same thing with gold. I wouldn't look at JNUG or JDST. I would look at /GC and see what was released at around that 6:15 area. If you don't find something, then again, I'm sure if you Google it, Seeking Alpha and all that stuff, very popular sources for all that good stuff. So here we go. Market's about to open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What age did you get interested in the stock market? I've shared that. 14. There we go. Trying to find a support right around the SMA line, just like it's done before. Again, it doesn't mean anything unless it confirms it. The MACD looks good on this. Here we go. I'm going to do smaller. So I'm going to do 200 shares on this. Give it 1 second. How can I see real-time data on TOS? There is a video, if I'm not mistaken, within the course that if you don't have real-time quotes, you can simply contact TD Ameritrade. You can call them, and they can subscribe you to real-time quotes. There it goes, still selling off. but you guys is still trying to push up. Does pre and post market give trading advantages to other traders? I mean, if you're trying to buy and sell within that time period, I guess that's an advantage. But again, it's when the opportunity presents itself. So yeah, if you don't have access to pre-market hours or during extended hours, that includes both pre and after, then yeah, you can't take advantage of opportunities that are presented after, right? So my average purchase price as of right now is 46,339. Yeah, I just showed it on you guys. Let's go on Sander. I agree, Mike. So as of right now, asking the overall direction of natural gas, I still think that, it's still holding above the middle VWAP. It's not making lower lows or anything like that. The only thing that I am identifying of what it is doing is it's not making higher highs anymore. It got rejected at this previous resistance, and this time it didn't even really break or touch 315. It was right below it, as we all saw. So that's a little bit different, right? It pulled back, but it bounced off the middle VWAP and it bounced a little bit quicker. Again, the market just opened, so it's going to be interesting to see how this actually performs as now the market is open. We might see a stronger push up, or we might not even get to 315. So I want to give it both sides. What's good, Primo? What's going on? I don't know if we're actual cousins. We have too many cousins in my family. Here we go. Give it a little bit more time. No. Does that mean I can day trade? No. Just because you have margin doesn't mean that your overall account balance has to be over 25K, not with margin. All right, nice little pullback on natural gas. Could this be the change of direction? Ever heard of the broker stake? Nope. It's all good, Grant. It's why I'm here, right? So with all these FAQs, it's all part of what we do. So yep. JNUG now made a new low. Thank you for the update, Chris. Yep, /GC was showing signs of a sell-off during pre-market hours. What's going on, Hello Flush? Do I handpick the people in the advanced traders chat? Yes, I do. Here we go, nice little push up. Natural gas is still trading below the EMA line, so that is why I have not added more to my position size. So again, I took a 200 share position size on UGAS because it began to consolidate right around 312 and it was right around the middle VWAP. Great. Just because it began to consolidate and 5 minutes past does not mean that I'm going to add more to my position size. what needs to happen for me to feel comfortable enough to add to my position size? Does it just need to pop above the EMA line, or what needs to happen? Higher highs above the EMA, but with the overall understanding that the actual direction is changing. That's what's most important. If it continues to make lower lows, if it continues to make lower highs, that's not a reason to add more to my position size. The reason behind that, psychologically, right, for a person is to lower your average purchase price, which does not make sense. If something is making you lose money, why continue to trade and invest in it? It just doesn't make sense, right? So as of right now, this thing is still getting rejected. It's still around the general support area based off previous patterns. It could still fully reverse. That's great, but it is selling off as of right now. There you go. So this is just something that I'm going to have to consider, but that's why I took a smaller position size as the market opened, because I didn't know 100% if the overall direction was going to change. Now I have to consider the idea of cutting losses on this position, which is fine. How much am I down? About $60, $70. I'll put it at 47, and then I'll just drag and drop. So Colby, you were right with like that pattern that you identified on ticker symbol DGAS, right? That this thing, I don't like the way that it's selling off. Let's see. The MACD is super overextended on, or oversold. So is the RSI, but the direction of natural gas just still continues to trend down. natural gas is now at that EMA line, which is where it's been rejected at before. So /NG is back at the EMA line, and this is where it can get rejected again with this overall descending pattern. All right, nice little pop up. Whoa. Sold. I got in a little bit too early, and I understood that. So on natural gas, I want to give this a little bit more time. I was literally going to sell for a loss, and that's okay. This pop that it had, again, that's great that it happened. It could have 100% gotten rejected at the EMA line, and then if I would have seen that it would have began to sell off, I just would have cut losses there because there's a pattern here, right, where it's making lower lows and lower highs. And to me, it makes just more sense to just get back in later. Yes, I might cut my losses like quick, and yes, it might pop and I might miss out on some margin, but I could always get back in. And that's one of the things that I have to consistently remind myself. Missed the pop, panic sold. Not at all. George, there was a reason, if I'm not mistaken, you said why it is that are we seeing a gap up on DGAS? There's a reason why you sold it. If I'm not mistaken, I also saw one of your messages up here. But there was a break of pattern. And trust me, George, like what you did, as in like you cut losses because there's a break of pattern and you didn't want to continue it to bleed. That best practice, that actual quality of like focusing on managing risk will get you, that mindset will get you so much further in this like trading market than to have held when you felt or understood that, hey, this thing can still continue to sell off. Trust me, that mindset that you have of I'm cutting losses because I'm managing my risk. Trust me, right now, yes, it sucks, but you're also trading with a much smaller dollar amount of what you can be trading 5 years down the road. So if you continue to focus on what it is that you just did and taking action when there's a reason behind it, that's all that matters. Trust me, like it will end up playing out. And yes, you're becoming more comfortable with like when to cut losses, and you saw me like borderline about to cut losses, and I risked maybe a little bit more than you. But again, I've also been trading for a little bit longer, and I am trading with a larger dollar amount. So I just want to remind you that like don't let this one bad experience encourage you to hold something when something is reversing. Trust me, the best practice of taking action and cutting losses or locking in profits at a point where it makes sense to is going to be well worth it 5-10 years down the road. Oh, shoot. Congrats, Adrian. Why is there so many people with the last name Gutierrez? %, just sucks at times. It sucks a lot. Being completely honest, it's super like bummy, right? I agree, but don't even stress it. Again, I think it's a small price to pay, especially if the dollar amount is really like, and I'm being like honest, if the dollar amount is really affecting you and just discouraging you, maybe trade with a little bit less. Again, right now, all you're doing is trading to learn, not trading to actually profit, because you're still learning. So let's just make sure that we remind ourselves that, because the more comfortable you become, the quicker and more comfortable you become, the more dollar or the higher account value that you'll feel comfortable trading because of like your experience and then how comfortable you'd feel with that. So Natural gas keeps selling off, and everyone would say it would go up. Who's everyone? Who would say that it would go up? We talked about natural gas and its overall downtrend. Your Hispanic brothers. How do you keep the nerves in check? Well, Max, like, even like losing like $100, like I understand, like, to put into perspective, like I will not freely spend $100 doing anything, right? But yeah, I'm willing to risk $100 in this market because I know it's part of the game, and it's just this like mindset that you'll become more well versed with as time goes on. Because I know that I've had days like yesterday, a $3,300 day, and I know that it takes money to make money, and I know that a part of making money means that I have to put something at risk. So yes, it does suck, but I also have experience in making a lot more than I lose. So that is why I have the reassurance that, again, I'd rather just cut losses and get back in later because I know my skill set will outweigh the loss that I just experienced. You know, what was a really tough pill to swallow was the 2.5K loss that I had on Friday, right? Especially when I was up $800, because if you do the math, that's like a $3,300 loss. But net, it's $2,500. And yeah, it sucks, but it's like, I know that I've also had days of $6,000. And, you know, it's just reassuring myself. Like if I just began trading and I experienced that loss, do you think I would ever want to trade again? Probably not. I'd probably be very discouraged, but I know I have experience with this, and that's why I'm okay with it. And again, it takes time. That's the biggest thing that we've been talking about, is that it takes time. Shoot. The MACD is a little overextended. Yep. I don't know if we're going to make higher highs here. Really nice push up. And again, this is one nice little push up. And if I try to get in right now, I have to understand that I'm getting in very close to the resistance. Like, I have the market literally opened 20 minutes ago. Like, I'm not going to discourage myself and be like, holy crap, I just missed out on this push. Again, it's not thinking about just this small little opportunity that presented itself, but it's thinking about big picture, and that I have nothing but time to trade. Not even just today, but, you know, years, right? And I know it sucks, trust me, because like we live in the moment, but it's just a little friendly reminder. I believe we're about 40 minutes, right? Oh, we're at 33 minutes so far. Why don't you get into DGAS? DGAS is a descending pattern. So again, I take on another risk by investing in something that's descending. 100% I can try to scalp it. But what if not UGAS and natural gas just continue to rip through every resistance? And that would make much more sense than DGAS reversing, because there's no confirmation of the DGAS reversal. But yeah, as of right now, you know, we're experiencing some consolidation right around that $47 price point, just like we were before. Ricky, are you using any stock scanners for ideas? No. Based off of this current pattern, yes. But if you look at, again, it's great to analyze like the actual ETF itself. But if you look at the actual future and /engine, you have much more to go off of. Again, this is kind of like, well, what I'm seeing here is like this descending resistance, right? So in a sense, like as the market got closer to becoming or to being open, yes, in a sense, it is like descending. But again, that's what you want to like analyze this data and give it a little bit more time for it to identify its direction. So if you see a pattern here and you see that natural gas is like descending and selling off, then, you know, maybe giving it a little bit more time and confirming that when DGAS comes around. Yeah, I don't know why people keep talking about the natural gas report. Natural gas report is on Thursdays. Do you drink coffee or anything to keep you awake and alert? No. I don't drink like any energy drinks or anything like that. Yeah, no, I like that. Thank you again for pointing that out. Thank you for the shout out /GC CL massive sell off again. Nice. Back at support. Maybe you might have a nice little recovery. So this means that UWT is this UWT pushed or sold off. So this is kind of a descending pattern. 1.7%. So, Rich, so how does natural gas affect you guys? Again, this is all explained in the course. I literally have an ETF section in the course, and I talk about the correlation between /NG, which is the natural gas future, and how that correlates on over to UGAS, which is the bull natural gas ETF, and the inverse ETF. So the bear is DGAS. So it does the exact opposite. UGAS is super overextended. Yep. Based off previous patterns, it makes sense. But again, if it rallies, and again, the market just opened, and this is the first time that it's really pushing up since the market has opened. So we have to give it time. And again, we're approaching that general area, right around that $47 price point. You see this little range, this little pocket? There we go. So oh shoot, it sold off too quick. Yeah, so it doesn't do exactly, Danny, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so UGAS and DGAS and natural gas are not like, it's not like natural gas sells off 1% and that DGAS pushes up 1%. There's a correlation between the future and the ETF, but yes, it's not exact to the exact dollar amount. Shoot. Shoot. MACD, right? Consolidation, right? We saw that. So it's sold off. I'm just trying to explain everything. Sold off. It's consolidating as of right now. I'm taking a position, but a partial position, as there's no full-on confirmation. The RSI is a little bit more on the oversold side. It hit lows of around 35. The MACD is now ascending back up. So again, that's attractive. And then we started seeing this thing start to consolidate. And on top of that, again, just to confirm, we're starting to see natural gas follow this pattern of it making lower lows and lower highs as well. So that's kind of the pattern that I followed. After natural gas breaks below the middle VWAP, I'll probably add more to my DGAS position and kind of go from there. So I just explained for others that are asking, what is it that you're seeing on DGAS? I'm seeing a downward pattern on natural gas as the market got close to open. So there, again, and I explained it like earlier before, there is a huge risk investing in something that was descending because natural gas was pushing up pretty much, all pre-market hours, all during extended hours. And I'm going against the pattern. There's a risk by trading that, a huge risk. I'm going against the overall pattern. But one thing that I'm seeing as well is that, do you see how it was trading above the SMA line really nicely? And then as it broke below the SMA line, the pattern started to shift. So just a little reason behind it. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. So I'm not going to add anything right now, but I'm just getting it ready. And I probably just want to add 100 shares. I don't want to add, I don't want to add more than that. Five-day, 5-minute chart. I like it. Here we go. Let me get that alert. There we go. Natural gas just broke below the middle VWAP. Again, we're seeing a nice little push up, but let's look back at /NG, which is the important pattern. Do you all see why I see a downward pattern on natural gas? Is that all obvious? Of it making lower highs and lower lows, right? That is why I decided to take a position on DGAS. The RSI is pointing down on natural gas. The MACD is still descending on natural gas, and the overall pattern is still descending on natural gas. So 3 factors of why I see value in DGAS, and that's why I took a position. I just want to share it with you guys. Thank you, Kobe. Hope you have a good day in class. Thanks again for your time. Take it easy, man. Can you explain your current exit point? Yeah, like last time it did almost hit or did go above $80, and that's great and all. And with this descending pattern, like it makes sense on why it can get there. I just you guys know that I don't like to like be extremely aggressive with my exit points. So if this pattern follows, it should even make like higher highs for DGAS, but we never know if it's going to follow. So it's actually consolidating right now. There we go. So it's going to be right around 310, and that was a previous support. And looking back at DGAS, there's a very common resistance. I would even sell kind of like where it's at right now. I think I'm going to. So I'm going to close this out so I don't follow the dollar value. So it's consolidating right now. So looking at natural gas, that's what I was looking at my second screen. We're consolidating right here, right around like that 311 price point, which makes sense. Again, this range from like 311, look at these previous patterns to like low of like, if you wanted to call it like 309 or like 310, but this is kind of like the low points, right? Low points, and then as we get, but the overall direction should be in our favor. We just have to see if it follows. Here we go. A lot of consolidation right now on natural gas, which is in favor of natural gas. The more it consolidates, the stronger that support becomes. Let's see it push up to that EMA line. Here we go. There we go. Pushing up. Super happy to hear that, Joe. About the lessons learned. How do you keep distractions away from trading? Um, well, my biggest distraction is usually like me streaming live. Other than that, I, it's just discipline, right? Understanding that like you probably shouldn't be doing anything else. And there's been multiple times where I do try to manage other things, and even commentating while I'm trading, and sometimes I miss out on entries or exits. Um, but that's my position, right? So um, I would say just understanding like what's important, and that if you're going to be trading, then probably just focus on that. And um, if you're going to be doing something else, then you probably shouldn't be trading. So why have you created retirement funds like IRAs or other things? I have not. Are you asking why haven't I? I like that, Robert. That's exciting, huh? Uh, we're right at the EMA line for natural gas. Yeah, so natural gas now pushing up. It doesn't have that much margin though. Check this out on natural gas. Watch, let's see. All right. There's a lot of consolidation happening right now in /NG. So like right now asking about like the EMA line and what do I interpret from the EMA line flatlining. Again, the more something consolidates, like the EMA line will follow. So if the pattern is consolidating, then so will the EMA line. So that's indifferent. As of right now, the EMA line is acting as a support. But one of the things that I'm noticing right now is that, the middle VWAP is acting as a resistance as it should. But the reason that I wasn't so quick to like cut losses on this overall reversal is because the sell-off wasn't even that great. Like look at the pattern, right? Look at the pattern in which it sells off and its resistance, right? So even if it did consolidate here and then it pushes up, I knew that based off previous patterns, I mean, in the technical standpoint, it didn't have that much margin to push back up before then it continues to sell off. So I didn't know if it was going to get exactly rejected here or about the SMA line, but it made sense on why it would follow this descending resistance. As of now, it looks like it's getting rejected or experiencing a resistance right around that middle VWAP, and now we could expect somewhat like lower lows. So I'm going to give it now a little bit more time, and because of this, I'm going to change my overall exit now to a little bit of a higher price point, as I think we might have a little bit more in our favor now. There we go. Nice, nice. What is the length of your EMA line and SMA line? Again, Christine, this is all explained in the course. The length of my EMA line is set at 15, which you could see right over here. And the length of my SMA line is at 180. So again, just a friendly reminder, if possible, to please complete the entire course before actively trading. Yeah. So could you explain what would be a break of pattern when natural gas breaks out of the downtrend channel? A break of pattern of what? Like of /NG or in favor of degas or what? So as of right now, I mean, this is downtrending, right? So if there's to be like right now, this is making lower highs and lower lows. So what would be a break of pattern if it doesn't no longer make lower lows and it begins to consolidate, which is something that can happen. It begins to consolidate and then this thing begins to make, even highs and then higher highs, and then the overall direction for natural gas begins to uptrend. It would have to show a change of direction. That's what the difference is. /CL for a scalp. Right now, this is kind of like a descending pattern, right? MACD is overextended, RSI is overextended. This is peaked out. Makes sense on why this thing can continue to sell off. So I would set your alerts on that. That means that would be in favor of DWT, right? As this is the one that's uptrending on the day. So sweet. All right, here we go. DWT just broke above $10. Thank you again for that friendly reminder. Yeah, I am going to be remaking the course. You'll still have access to it, as in like if you're already enrolled, or if you're asking like, is it just people that are newly going to enroll? No, it's my plan is to have it for like the new people and for everyone that's already enrolled. It's just gonna I believe if Teachable allows me to remove all the current content that I have and then just add the new one. So, well, you'll report tomorrow. That is correct. I am honestly over this consolidation, and I just want to get out now. I'm getting a little frustrated and impatient. I'm just thinking about like opportunity costs, and the margin of profit wasn't even that big. I'm at 359 for the day. No. Ricky, why are you remaking the course? One thing that I've noticed, and this is just based off of like, again, and like I've noticed that a lot of other people, like as in like the top people within like the trading niche, they have a course and it's their course for like 5 or 10 years. And my reasoning behind wanting to update it is I think that the market is always changing, especially from when I made the course a year and a half ago to where it's at now. Um, I think it's only fair to provide, real time value. And that's why I decided to go live and trade live with our group every single day. But I also want to make sure that the patterns and like the style of trading that I teach is something that is expressed through the course. And I think my trading style has changed a little bit since I created the course. For me, it's more of an integrity, reason, as in like I want to make sure that I continue to provide the best to my ability. Like people invest like a lot of money into our courses, and I want to make sure that I just continue to, like, no question, provide the most value that I can to my ability, right? And that's why. So I feel confident that I can make it and improve it, and that's why I'm doing it. So appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sergio Livins, my guy. What's up? What's up? Yeah, when am I planning on updating the course? I'll be filming all of February. That's my plan to film all of February. I don't know if I'll have it by the end of February or the beginning of March. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date as time goes on. So I appreciate you guys asking. Well, we have to buy the course again. Yeah, each and every single one of you, I'm going to charge you guys another $300. No, I said that it's already going to be included. Ah, no, no, no. There's no need. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this. This thing is not. What's going on, Pascal? What's your opinions on patterns like wedges or flags and triangles? Yeah, I mean, I think the more you know, the better you can do, right? I think that it becomes like counterproductive when you focus so much on like candlestick patterns, like overall triangle patterns, and you try to like your charting then begins to look more like just a bunch of lines. And then there's so much that it's like overwhelming. I'm sure that works well for a lot of people. I like to keep it simple. I like to focus on direction. I like to focus on understanding the pattern, and I like to focus on making sure that I'm investing in something that's uptrending. It works really well for me, and people might think that that's very like minimalistic or very beginner friendly and stuff like that. It's like, well, I do it and use it every single day. I don't call it a trading strategy. I just call it a series of best practices that I follow, and that's all. So, will you raise the price for the updated course for the new students? No, I'm. Holy smokes! Nice little sell off. No, that's not the plan. Do you use Active Trader when you're not live in the live chat? No. Hope everyone has the greatest rest of their day. I'm done for the day. Later on, George, hope you enjoy the rest of your day as well. but you should raise the price. It's too cheap. Yeah, I mean, our main focus for 2019 is, I mean, this is just something that I'm doing for fun, right? Of like updating the course and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that that's done. Our main focus for 2019 is going to be the software that our team is developing, and I would rather focus on that rather than trying to like maximize every dollar value or every dollar per person and stuff like that for the course. It's just like I feel like I provide good value in the course, and I work with them every day, and it, for those that see value in it, great. For those that don't, then I never tell you to buy it if you don't see value in it. I never tell anyone to buy it, right? So I like the price point. It's, I think, very realistic for a lot of people, and I think it's something that can build a very strong foundation for people. And I trade live every day. I mean, I trade every day. So the biggest thing is finding an internet connection that I can host my live stream at. But I still, I'm happy with what I do. So I'd rather focus on being a little bit more effective and efficient with our applications than the course itself. But I know you guys all understand. Thank you, Gabriella. Appreciate it. NQ selling out. Oh, man. Did any news get released? It's a really nice push up. Here we go. Here's the consolidation. Do you guys see that support that I had, right? At 311. That was the magic number. Alrighty. There's a lot of people that are already leaving just because we've streamed for, I think, a little bit over an hour, right? I do apologize if that was a little too long. See. Of course, Adam. Fortnite? No. Let's see, natural gas is peaking out. Well, with the MACD and with the RSI, pushed up very quickly. Came overextended. Let's have some fun with this. Stormtrooper 7, take it easy. Where are we at? Down $30. 154. Do you play any video games or you got better than, yeah, I don't play any video games. I wouldn't say that I have anything better to do. It's just not something that I'm into. Dude, do you need $3,000 to get 500 free trades? That is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, requirements that TD Ameritrade offers. I think it's promo code 220 if they still have it valid. All right. Well, there's just a lot of consolidation right now, team. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. I'm really not feeling good. I woke up kind of with, I think, a strep throat. I'll keep you guys up to date with my overall position size. Again, the overall support as of right now is around 7749 based off previous patterns. So let's just remind ourselves that. We're doing a lot of consolidation right now, and it's been really consolidating at the resistance of 7850 for the resistance of ticker symbol D. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys up to date with everything that is going on and stuff like that. There's a lot of questions that you guys have about the course update and stuff like that. Please, if possible, I'll keep you guys up to date as time goes on. And yeah, all the changes and all that stuff, I'll let you know. Same thing with the application, same thing with the HQ. I really appreciate you guys want to be a part of it and stuff like that. But there's just so many people that ask the same question over and over again. I'd rather just announce it from time to time, and I hope that you guys could respect that. But yeah, that's really just it. So let's keep it simple. Let's lock in those profits. Again, if there's a reason for an action that you should take, just let's again focus to trade for the future and not for today. Wish you guys an amazing rest of your day. Continue working hard, continue following dreams. Let your passion be your judge and success. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.